Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow. This is my English accent, my correctness. Do you feel it? This is my English accent, my correctness. Come on, let's. If it's worth pronouncing, it is worth pronouncing well. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the English Accent Course on Television, your numero uno pronunciation TV. Welcome to the home of pronunciation correctness. I am Jonathan Shibande, Joe Show, your London licensed pronunciation instructor. Thank you for letting me be your guide. On the program today, we have a segment called Crackbook. Crack a book. We peer into our pronunciation book to study an interesting topic. And today we're taking COVID-19 vocabulary. That is to say, we are learning how to pronounce correctly what's related to COVID-19. And here we have some examples. And here we go. COVID-19. Let's start from there. COVID-19. 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 That is how that one should be standardly pronounced. Okay, let's take another one. Healthy. 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 Not healthy. It is the, not the. Healthy. Healthy. I hope you got that. Healthy. Isolate. 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 Oh, you need to self-isolate if you feel you have some symptoms relating to coronavirus. Self-isolate for some time. Isolate. Isolate. Okay, let's take this one. People say palliative. Palliative. That is a wrong pronunciation. So let's get it correctly. Palliative. Palliative. Pal-i-a-tive. Pal-i-a-tive. Palliative. Palliative. In GA, that is General American pronunciation, we pronounce as palliative. 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 Okay, let's take another one right now. Novel pandemic. Novel pandemic. Not novel. Novel. Novel pandemic. Novel pandemic. Novel pandemic. Coronavirus is a novel pandemic. Alright, that means it's an original pandemic. We've never seen its kind before. That's the meaning of novel pandemic. Novel pandemic. Take note. Novel pandemic. Novel pandemic. Novel pandemic. Okay. Now, there are times when those who have coronavirus do not show symptoms of the disease. So how do we pronounce that? We say they are asymptomatic. 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 I hope that is clear. Asymptomatic. That is the standard pronunciation for that word. Okay, let's go to this other one. Quarantine. 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 You need to quarantine yourself if you've come in contact with somebody already infected with coronavirus. You need to quarantine for some days so that we're sure you don't have the infection or you're not infected with the disease. Quarantine. We can also pronounce the word as quarantine. Quarantine. That's the second option. But the first option is quarantine. Once again, the first option is quarantine. Quarantine. But the second option is quarantine. Okay, now let's take another one now. Epicenter. 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 Did you get the flow of the rhythm or the stress patterns for the pronunciation of that word? It is not it is okay. Epicenter, 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 epicenter. So Lagos is the epicenter of coronavirus in Nigeria. Lagos is the epicenter of coronavirus in Nigeria. Epicenter, okay? In GA English, that is General American pronunciation, we pronounce as epicenter, 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 epicenter. That was GA. BBC pronunciation, epicenter, epicenter, epicenter. Okay, let's take another one. Syndrome, syndrome, syndrome. Alright, does it have syndrome of coronavirus? Okay, syndrome, don't forget, it's not syndrome, it is syndrome, syndrome, drome, syndrome. I'm happy you got it. Okay, now let's get to another word. Ventilator, 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 ventilator. That is the first option for the pronunciation of that word, but we can also say ventilator, ventilator, ventilator. Oh, just a slight difference, but if you're not careful enough, you'll not be able to notice the difference between the first option and the second option. Okay, now let's go back to the first option now. Ventilator, ventilator. Now the second option is ventilator, ventilator. But I often advise people, you may want to stick with the first option instead of trying to cram the other ones or try to know them. The first option may be good for you. Just learn how to pronounce the first option and then let's go. Ventilator, ventilator. In GA English, that is General American pronunciation for that word. It is pronounced as ventilator, ventilator, ventilator. You have to that is tap or flap. Ventilator, ventilator. Okay. Now let's take the last word we're pronouncing on the coronavirus vocabulary today, and that is vaccine, 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 vaccine. The first option. You can also say vaccine, vaccine, but the first option is vaccine, vaccine. In GA English, vaccine may be pronounced as vaccine, vaccine, vaccine. I want you to get a difference in the stress pattern of the BBC pronunciation and the GA pronunciation. In BBC, we go but in GA we may go vaccine. BBC, vaccine, vaccine. In GA, we can say vaccine. Okay, I hope you got all of those. Okay, a quick summary of what we pronounced today in coronavirus vocabulary. Let's go now. COVID-19, COVID-19. Healthy, healthy. Isolate, isolate. Palliative, palliative. Novel pandemic, novel pandemic. Asymptomatic, asymptomatic. Quarantine, quarantine. Epicenter, epicenter. Syndrome, syndrome. Ventilator, ventilator. And vaccine, vaccine, vaccine. Let's end this presentation with a poetic piece. It is titled, Coronavirus, This Too Shall Pass. The river always flows, but what about the days of drought? The sun always glows, but what about the eclipse shout? Parts of the glorious aurora of life are hugging, holding, and touching. But what about the COVID-19 with its knife, distancing, imprisoning and killing? The drought and the eclipse, they are only brief stops on the way. They are not the entire journey that we pray. Coronavirus is only a phrase. It is not the whole sentence that life will raise. But when will the sinister visitor leave us alone? Qui sera, sera. But someday tomorrow we will say, someday yesterday we said, coronavirus, this too shall pass. When I was just a little boy, I asked my father, how will it be? Will it be rosy or will it be dark? Here's what he said to me. Que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. The future's not us to see. Qui sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. That does it for this episode of the English Accent Course on television. Find time please to join us on the next episode. But until then, remember, be pronunciation correct. Bye. Stay safe. This is my English accent, my correctness. Do you feel it? This is my English accent, my correctness. Come on, let's make it real. I am feeling it, feeling it, feeling it. I am feeling it now. I am feeling it, feeling it, feeling it. I am feeling it now. Yo, thanks. My correctness, do you feel it? This is my pronunciation accuracy is an essential of every spoken language. Therefore, do not take it for granted. Do not take correct English pronunciation for granted. For accurate, authentic, native English pronunciation, you can trust the English Accent Course because the instructor is London schooled and certified to teach English pronunciation. So folks, be pronunciation knowledgeable. Be pronunciation correct.
Yo, the English Accent Course. It is analytical. Tell me what, tell me this. Yeah, me it is practical. When I say my correctness, gonna make it classic. Not that theoretical. Sometimes going lyrical. The English Accent Course. Do you feel the musical? 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 I am feeling it, feeling it, feeling it. I am feeling it, feeling it now. I am feeling it, feeling it, feeling it. I am feeling it, feeling it now. I am feeling it, feeling it, feeling it. I am feeling it, feeling it now. I am feeling it, feeling it, feeling it. I am feeling it, feeling it now.